As literacy spread, it transformed social structures. Individuals began to question authority, participate in debates, and demand rights, fostering a wave of political and social reform. This is the story of Johannes Gutenberg, a goldsmith from Mainz, Germany. He wasn't just a craftsman. He was an innovator driven by a radical idea that would shatter the limitations of handwritten text and democratize information itself. For centuries, monks and scribes were the gatekeepers of knowledge. Each letter, each word, was meticulously formed by hand. A single Bible could take a scribe years to complete. This process was slow, expensive, and prone to error. But as trade grew and cities expanded, so did the demand for books beyond the clergy. Merchants, scholars, and noblemen craved access to texts on law, science, and poetry. This growing thirst was unmet by manual copying. Gutenberg, with his background in metalworking and gem cutting, possessed a unique understanding of precision. He knew how to cast metals, carve intricate details, and work with molten materials, skills crucial for his revolutionary concept. Working in secret, Gutenberg began experimenting with casting individual letters from metal. He sought to create reusable, uniform pieces that could be arranged and rearranged to form any word, a stark contrast to the artist's unique manuscript letters. This radical approach threatened the established order. Gutenberg knew his invention was potentially explosive, so he guarded his progress jealously. The details of his casting methods and the precise alloy for his type were closely held secrets. Developing a functional, durable, and consistent movable type system was immensely challenging. Gutenberg wrestled with creating the right metal alloy, perfecting the casting process, and finding an ink that adhered well to metal type. His ambitious project demanded significant capital. Gutenberg sought wealthy investors to fund his expensive experiments and workshop. This led him to Johann Fust, a wealthy Mainz financier, who saw potential but also demanded control. Fust agreed to lend Gutenberg substantial sums, but at a steep price, high interest, and a share of any profits. This partnership, though essential, would soon lead to conflict as Fust grew impatient with the slow progress. Meanwhile, Gutenberg was also conceptualizing the press itself. He adapted existing screw presses used for wine and paper making, re-engineering them to press paper evenly onto inked type, ensuring a consistent, legible impression every time. Traditional water-based inks used by scribes wouldn't work. Gutenberg needed a thicker, oil-based ink that would adhere to metal type without running. He experimented relentlessly, mixing pigments like lampblack with linseed oil and varnish. With typecast, ink perfected, and press ready, Gutenberg began composing pages. The initial test prints were crucial, revealing how the letters transferred to paper and how consistent the impression could be across multiple copies. Gutenberg spent years in Strasbourg, developing his ideas in relative secrecy. He needed capital and resources not readily available in Mainz, honing his skills and preparing for the monumental task he envisioned. He further developed his casting technique, likely using a hand mold with a two-part metal matrix to create uniform, precisely sized letter sorts. This method allowed for rapid production of large quantities of any given letter. Gutenberg's ultimate goal was to produce a book of unparalleled quality and beauty, a testament to his invention's potential. He chose the Bible, the most revered text, as his canvas for this ambitious project. He then meticulously arranged thousands of individual metal types to form full pages of text. Each letter had to be spaced just right, creating justified margins and a harmonious flow on the page, a task demanding immense patience. Once composed, the inked type form was placed on the press. Paper was carefully positioned, and the heavy screw was turned, applying immense, even pressure to transfer the text from metal to paper in a single, swift motion. This mechanical process allowed for unprecedented speed. What took a scribe years could now be produced in weeks or months. Each identical copy was a testament to industrial efficiency and Gutenberg's ingenuity. The 42-line Bible, printed around 1455, became his masterpiece. It featured 2 volumes, exquisite craftsmanship, and remarkable clarity. It wasn't just a book, it was a declaration of the power of printed knowledge. Despite the triumph of the Bible, Gutenberg's finances were in dire straits. The immense cost of his materials, labor, and equipment had outstripped his investment from Fust, leading to mounting debt. Johann Fust, impatient and seeking to recoup his investment, took Gutenberg to court. He demanded repayment of the loans and ownership of Gutenberg's equipment and printing materials, effectively seizing all the fruits of his labor. The court ruled in Fust's favor. Gutenberg lost ownership of his workshop, his precious type, and his revolutionary press. Fust, along with Gutenberg's former assistant Peter Schoeffer, took over the operation. Fust and Schoeffer continued Gutenberg's work, benefiting from his proven methods and his already famous Bible. They went on to establish a successful printing business, producing further significant works and profiting from the very invention they acquired. Despite this setback, Gutenberg was not deterred easily. He continued to print, albeit on a smaller scale. He worked on projects like the Gutenberg calendar and further biblical texts, proving his enduring spirit and skill. In 1465, Gutenberg received a pension and honors from Archbishop Adolf von Nassau. It was a recognition of his genius, though too late to bring him significant wealth or truly undo the financial damages he had suffered. Gutenberg's invention spread like wildfire. Printers, using his techniques, established presses across Europe within decades. The cost of books plummeted, making knowledge accessible to a vastly wider audience than ever before. With cheaper books, literacy rates began to climb. People could learn to read and access information independently. This newfound ability to engage with texts fueled curiosity and critical thinking among the populace. The Renaissance, already underway, was greatly accelerated. Ancient texts, scientific treatises, and philosophical ideas, once scarce, became widely available, sparking new waves of creativity, discovery, and intellectual exchange across Europe. The printing press played a pivotal role in the Protestant Reformation. Martin Luther's 95 Theses and his translations of the Bible were rapidly printed and distributed, challenging established religious authority directly. Scientific discoveries could now be shared accurately and widely. Astronomers, physicists, and mathematicians could build upon each other's work, leading to faster advancements and the verification of theories through shared printed data. The press also helped standardize languages. As printers chose particular dialects and spellings for widespread publication, these conventions became dominant, shaping modern national languages and fostering a sense of shared identity. Gutenberg's press was a foundational invention for the modern world. It facilitated exploration, enabled new forms of governance, and provided the infrastructure for an informed citizenry, fundamentally reshaping society. Though Johannes Gutenberg died in relative obscurity and poverty in 1468, his work lived on. His invention became the bedrock of mass communication, a truth recognized centuries later. Gutenberg didn't just invent a machine, he democratized ideas. He gave the world the power to share, preserve, and build upon knowledge at an unprecedented scale, igniting an information age that continues to this day. His innovation laid the groundwork for newspapers, scientific journals, and mass education. The ability to disseminate information quickly and affordably is a direct descendant of Gutenberg's revolutionary mechanical printing press. The printing press was the first true engine of mass replication for text. It moved society from a world of unique manuscripts to one where identical copies could be produced and distributed widely. His personal narrative is one of immense struggle. Gutenberg poured his soul and fortune into his vision, facing betrayal and financial ruin, yet his dedication to advancing knowledge never wavered. He understood that distributed knowledge was power. By breaking the monopoly of scribes, Gutenberg empowered individuals to learn, question, and innovate, fundamentally altering the balance of intellectual authority. Gutenberg's printing press wasn't just a technological marvel, it was an ideological one. It built the foundation for universal education, public discourse, and the very concept of an informed public sphere we value today. While the Gutenberg Bible cemented his fame, his true legacy lies in the countless other books and pamphlets that followed. Almanacs, scholarly works, and even controversial tracts all flowed from his revolutionary method. His invention empowered the rapid traversal of ideas. Concepts that once took decades to travel could now be printed and distributed across Europe in months, fostering a connected intellectual landscape. The printing press became a potent tool for dissent and critique. It allowed reformers, rebels, and philosophers to distribute their views widely, bypassing traditional gatekeepers of information and challenging established powers. Arguably, Gutenberg's invention marked the birth of mass media. It enabled the concept of reaching a large, dispersed audience simultaneously, a precursor to newspapers, broadcasting, and the internet. His relentless pursuit of this vision came at a great personal cost. He was often isolated, consumed by his work, and endured immense stress, all while seeking the crucial funding he needed. The availability of affordable educational texts was revolutionary. Gutenberg's invention was a catalyst for the creation of schools and universities, making learning truly accessible to growing numbers of people. The increased circulation of scientific texts spurred exploration and discovery in all fields. Scholars could share findings, debate theories, and build upon collective knowledge more effectively than ever before. Gutenberg's press transformed human civilization. It took knowledge from the cloistered few and offered it to the many, unleashing an era of unprecedented intellectual growth, social change, and technological advancement. He unlocked our collective potential by making words accessible. Johannes Gutenberg's genius was not just in mechanics, but in understanding the profound power of democratizing thought and spreading enlightenment. His invention was not an end, but a beginning. It laid the vital foundation for all subsequent mass communication, shaping the way we learn, debate, and connect with one another across vast distances. The story of Gutenberg is a testament to the personal sacrifices often demanded by groundbreaking innovation. His life proved that the pursuit of knowledge can be both a noble quest and a financially perilous journey. From his workshop in Mainz, Gutenberg planted seeds of change that would blossom into the Enlightenment, industrial revolutions, and the information age. His legacy is etched into the very fabric of modern society. He was more than an inventor. He was an architect of information. By mechanizing writing, he fundamentally altered how ideas spread, empowering humanity with unprecedented access to knowledge and shared discourse. Gutenberg's commitment to quality was legendary. Even amidst financial hardship, he insisted on perfection in his type, ink, and press, setting a standard for craftsmanship that defined early printed works. His invention was a silent revolution, not fought with swords but with ink and paper. It fundamentally altered the flow of information, empowering minds and reshaping societies from the ground up. The printing press was the cornerstone of public discourse. It allowed for the widespread sharing of diverse opinions, fostering debates and the formation of informed opinions essential for democratic societies. By enabling rapid replication and dissemination, Gutenberg's press created virtuous cycles of innovation. New ideas could be shared, critiqued, and improved upon, accelerating progress in science, art, and philosophy. From the medieval world to the modern era, few inventions have had such a profound and lasting impact. Gutenberg's press didn't just change how we read, it changed how we think, learn, and interact. Johannes Gutenberg's true triumph was empowering humanity with universal access to the written word. His invention dismantled barriers, ignited minds, and paved the way for an informed and connected world. His revolutionary technology continues to shape our lives today, forming the bedrock of mass communication, education, and the very exchange of ideas that define our modern, interconnected global society. Gutenberg gave us the power to share instantly. What incredible ideas will you explore, and what will you share next in this age of endless information? Let us know in the comments below.